hung up the phone, and then he texted us and broke up with us over text. I think I sent him one text back and said something like, you broke me heart or something like that. And then I deleted his number, and I've still never spoken to him to this day.
So the very last time you saw him was to say goodbye and get on the train?
Very last time I saw him, I gave him a kiss.
That's a silent breakup right there.
Welcome to this week's Just Another Group Chat. It is your usual host, Kim. Believe it or not, it's not Phoebe from Friends when she has a cold.
I love it.
I know you have been singing that though. I have. I've just got a little bit of a thing going on. So, what we're talking about today, ladies? That was a big deep breath. Breakups.
Yay!
Do you know what I would love from this podcast?
Didn't it say for everyone to break up?
No, absolutely not. For people to at least learn something on how to break up with someone, because I feel like there's a lot of people who need lessons in this.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, yeah,
isn't there? So if you're a guy, a girl, whatever, and you need some lessons on breaking up with someone, you might not even know you need lessons until listening to this. We're going to teach some things.
Okay.
So the good, the bad, and some of the hilarious breakups.
Oh Lord.
Let's delve right in. Why is breaking up so hard?
Because it's a big decision. And
I love it that Laura said that. She's broke up with every single person she's ever been with.
bar one.
Well, bar one, but that says it right there.
Yeah.
It's a big decision.
It really is.
And it's always been you.
Until a week ago, yeah. Yes, literally. Which is why I think I was so shell-shocked. I was like...
This has never happened to me before.
Is this what it's
Laura's like, I've not made this decision.
What? This cannot be right. Yeah, it's a massive decision. And I used to say that I thought being dumped would be easier than dumping someone. Mm-hmm. And I firmly disagree.
Do you?
Actually, do I?
I hate the word dumping, Laura.
I know.
Let's scrap the word dump. It's horrible.
Let's not say that.
All right.
It's like you're not
when
garbage.
you terminate someone's contract.
Laura probably had a few of them.
If you can just sign here, and here. This is an NDA. I will not be signing that, hence I'm here right now. Yeah, it's a big decision.
Big decision?
I think it's the change. Like it's the sudden onset of like, oh, well, that's not that anymore.
Yeah.
And like, there's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
And then it's change, isn't it?
I most recently was wandering around my house and I was like, this just feels different.
Yeah.
He didn't live there. And I was like, oh, well, that's weird. And I just felt a bit lost.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't expect, like...
Because you've got to redo things in a new way.
Everything, that's what it is.
You have to redo everything in a new way. I guess, like, I had a little look up on this, and there's 7 stages, apparently, to a breakup.
Oh, God.
I feel, again, like Friends, I feel like it's Chandler.
We'll figure out where you are.
I've still got my sweatpants on. Never mind.
First one is shock and denial. It's disbelief and numb.
Tick.
Pain and guilt.
Tick.
Number 3 is anger and bargaining.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't got to that one yet. I must still be on stage 2.
Number four is depression.
I maybe skipped stage 3 and went straight into stage 4.
Next one is the upward turn. Next one is reconstruction and working through it. And the last one is acceptance and hope.
Oh my God.
How ridiculous is that though? Hope.
Hope for what?
That's terrible.
That's a lot of stages.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Most people go through them in the first night. I did.
Did you?
At least 1 and 2.
Yeah. I do definitely not go through all them stages when I'm broken up with. I don't, for sure.
Do you know what I found? And I've said this before, that when a woman, I feel, and this is a total stereotype and it's just from my experience, when a woman breaks up with a man, she has made that decision months ago.
Do you think?
Months and months ago, and there is nothing changing her mind.
So you mean just thought through?
Women do not, in my experience, do not make knee-jerk reactions to leave someone. Not if it's a substantial relationship. So I've often found that while they're having the shock and
You're at a different stage.
I look like I'm a bit dead inside because I'm like, yeah. But I've had all those stages while we're still together.
Yeah, and you've tried to say it to their face a million times and they're just not listening.
Yeah. In essence.
Apparently there's some research done that women experience more emotional pain following a breakup than men. So researchers have found that there's a higher level of physical and emotional pain from women, but they tend to come back stronger, and men simply move on and never recover.
I don't know if that's fair
No, I
to
don't.
say that
There's
about
a
men.
full study on that, you know.
Is there? That women are emotionally more...
Emotionally and physically in more pain.
Not in my experience.
Yeah, I don't know if you
think.
can say that.
I think it's a bit harsh.
There
I
is
I do.
that thing though, isn't there, where they say like men move on quicker and adapt to change quicker and do all that, and then women don't, but women will then bounce back stronger, and a man will go through that sort of like dip afterwards, like a period of time after.
Yeah.
How many times have you either broke up with somebody or been broken up with, and 6 months down the line, all of a sudden they pop back up and they're like, oh, I made a terrible mistake. Oh, I still love you.
I think, do you know, this is, I don't know what this says about me, but I have always either been cheated on or broken up with. Most of the time I've just been cheated on. But every single one of them came back.
That's so bizarre.
Every
'cause it's
single
not thought
one of
through.
them came back and said, like, sometimes months later, after they'd been seeing someone, one of them was like seeing somebody else for a little while, 3 or 4 months, and then came back and was like, I made a mistake, I want you back, and da da da.
And what do you say to that?
Fuck off.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Were you at that stage where you were like,
No, I wasn't that. I got
see?
back with him.
see, that's the damaging part though, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the damaging
Not
part.
for long. It was 2 months or so, and then I broke up with him.
Yeah, because you realise you're like,
Because I'd already gone through, I was at stage
Stage where you at?
the upward turn. I was on upward turn, and then I was like, oh yeah, he wants me back, yeah, motherfucker. And then I was like, oh yeah, this is not what it used to be.
Yeah.
it rarely is in my experience.
Yeah. Do you think there's a girl who I've been listening to, she's on TikTok actually as well. What's her name? I'll find her name. Najwa Zebian. And she's a poet. And she writes poetry and other bits and bobs. Mm-hmm. And she talks a lot about giving too much of ourselves away in any relationship.
Oh, yeah.
And I find it really interesting. It's like, oh, wow, but that's kind of that falling hard when you fall in love, giving everything to the other person, that vulnerability, like that. I mean, you don't ever get it the same way you do with your first love, do you? From my point of view.
Oh, I think you do.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's different because you learn so much, I think, from your first relationship.
See, I was like 16 when I was in my first relationship.
Yeah, so was I.
And it's been nothing compared to past. I would say at least the past 2 relationships I've been in.
Yeah. I think I was just so young and so naive. I genuinely was like, we're going to be happy forever. And like,
yeah,
we will never break up and everything is marvellous.
Oh, that naivety.
Yeah.
Oh,
You don't get that again, do you?
No, because you've been hurt, haven't
Yeah.
you?
So once you've had that first breakup, it's there in your mind somewhere, isn't it? Like, oh, well, it's not going to last forever. This is not a Disney movie.
Damn it.
But yeah, she talks a little bit about just how we can give too much of ourselves away. What's your thoughts on that then?
I think that's one of the things that I definitely thought after we'd broken up was I realised how unindependent I'd become.
Yeah.
And like that's one of the biggest things that I've tried to do in the last year and a bit is like just become independent again.
Yeah.
Like we so easily do it in a relationship, just rely on the other person to do things. And there's roles in different things, they rely on you for certain things, you rely on them for certain things. But like from silly things like just to, I don't know, insuring a car, I didn't know how to do, to like to big life things that I was like, I don't want to make this decision on my own. You just get really complacent, don't you?
Car insurance and that, like all the...
See, I've got a dad for that. So like, God love him. I don't think I've ever given away me independence. I've just given away myself in its entirety. So
You've
every
stayed
week,
quite independent throughout every relationship.
yeah, I've stayed independent, but every waking moment has just become about what I can do for them and what I can, how I can make their life better and how I can. So then when we do split up, whether it's my decision or not, I'm left with a massive gap in my life because I don't have that person to not care for as in like cook and clean for, but emotionally to care for or to like support. And it's really hard because it's like, it's
Where
part
do
of
you
your,
put all of that love
Yeah.
and
yeah, it's part of your everyday life.
Yeah.
Like when I split up with me ex once removed, I remember I had a routine. It was when I first started working Westbourne, and I used to do the same thing every night. I used to get in the car, plug my phone in and ring him. How's your day been? What have you been up to? And I remember that first day I got in the car and I was like, oh shit. Like, didn't want to listen to music. I was very much in that like, so and
That's hard, isn't it? Listening to music when you're going through a breakup.
I was just about to say, you know, one of the really annoying things about breakups is all the
It ruins
things.
all music.
It ruins all the music that I loved that I now won't listen to, and all the things that we maybe did together, or the places that we went to, or, you know, certain things that I've got a lot of emotional attachment to that person, and now don't do.
Not we say.
Or I can't do.
Me and my friends, we say new memories.
I know.
And we say that all the time. We do. There's been a few times when like we've been at a festival and the song comes and I am like, oh no. And all the girls will look at me and I'm like, oh no, now I'm crying. At a festival, I'm supposed to be having fun. What am I doing? And they'll come over and it makes us almost cry even more because they'll go, new memories. And then I'm there with my friends having fun and I think, this is a new memory. This is fun. This is nice. And then I cry even more because I'm like, I have good friends.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But it's no matter how long ago it is since you split up with someone, if you hear that certain
absolutely.
song, like I've had
takes you back the pit of your stomach, doesn't it?
I've had many first dance songs planned, as you can imagine. And even now, when one of them in particular comes on in here, I'm like,
It hurts, doesn't it? It does hurt.
Well, music does that, doesn't it?
It is for me. That's one of the first things I do is I'm like, switch the radio off. Can't listen to music. I can't listen to songs. It's just too painful. It's like someone singing your life.
Do you think men have that?
No, absolutely not.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Not any of the guys I've ever known or dated or been with.
Dean's nodding, so I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, but Dean's like different, isn't he?
Oh.
God love him. No, I think men do. I know.
Honestly, I don't think any of the ones that maybe I'll go back and ask them. If you're listening, any exes,
Send them the song.
did you listen to any songs of ours?
Yeah. I know some of my exes still tell us.
Do you know what's weird? In one of the breakups that I had, after we broke up, I realised we didn't have a song. I know. And how weird is that? I was like, oh my God, we have no song. We have no.
At least you can forget that person easily.
I did. I was like, well, that makes things easier, doesn't it? Put the radio back on.
I have TV shows that I used to watch with exes.
Yeah, I did have TV shows with him.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Friends.
Somebody ruined Friends for you.
I haven't watched
Laura,
Friends for over a year.
New memories.
We'll put Friends on here in the office and
We'll make new memories.
Yeah.
You override it like a videotape.
But just record over.
Yeah. New memories.
That's such a good explanation.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
An old VHS. And
Exactly.
You just scribble out what was written on it and just write.
Exactly. Yeah. Override.
Yeah.
Do you change your eggs, ladies?
Excuse me?
Please tell me you've heard of this.
Sorry, what now?
Change your eggs.
As in these eggs?
In
Or
the eggs in your basket.
Right. I am shook. I said this a few weeks ago. Nobody knew what I was talking about. How does
is this
not
a
everybody know?
Donnerism?
Potentially. I don't know. I grew up with that, so it's just in my brain. So, do you change your eggs? It means like, how do you like your eggs? How do you like your eggs?
In the morning?
Yes. Yeah.
Scrambled.
Scrambled?
Scrambled.
Scrambled. Did you just change them because of Laura? Or?
No, scrambled eggs is my favourite egg.
Scrambled eggs. What's your favourite egg?
Scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs. What if your new partner likes poached eggs? Do you have poached eggs?
Potentially.
If they can cook poached eggs, yes.
If they cook poached eggs perfectly,
Yeah.
regardless of whether you prefer scrambled or not, you'd have poached eggs.
Well, yeah, because I'm...
Well, yeah, because somebody's made us my breakfast.
So you change your eggs. Change your eggs for a guy or a girl or someone or a partner.
This is brand new information.
This has blown my mind.
Yeah, but why would you change your eggs? Because if you were by yourself, you would have scrambled eggs.
I would, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So why all of a sudden are you changing what you want and what you like in life for somebody else?
Well,
I think silence says it all, Laura.
well, bugger me.
Don't
Where
change.
we've been going wrong.
Don't change your eggs.
I know, but then
I think you have to make 2 sets of eggs.
Doesn't matter.
If
He's
one-
making you breakfast, ask for scrambled eggs. Your favourite eggs.
True.
It's your eggs, not his. You're eating them.
They're my eggs.
well,
Yeah, there we go. You're both shocked, aren't you?
yeah,
We're just silent.
Does that blow your mind?
a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. It's always like I'm always accommodating to other people.
So this is the
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Like you can go down this route. What's your favourite takeaway? You can do this with everything. What's your favourite takeaway?
Pizza.
What's your favourite takeaway?
Chinese.
Have any of your exes got the same favourite takeaway, or did they have a different favourite takeaway?
Yeah, they had a different favourite.
And did you get their takeaway every
Yeah.
time? There is a lesson to
God.
be learned.
Damn it! Sons of bitches. I'm getting a Chinese night. All around my house for Chinese.
And then having scrambled egg in the morning.
And then I'm having scrambled eggs all hour.
Yeah, it is. I learned that very young, actually, because when I was my very first relationship, I just wanted to be the best girlfriend. That's all I wanted. I wanted to be the best girlfriend in the world. So I did everything to try and please them. Whatever they liked, I did. Whatever, I did everything to please them.
It's not good.
No. And then I think in my second relationship, I even listened to his music and I was like, yeah, I quite like this. But I prefer Beyonce.
But now you're
I
like,
think there's a fine line though, because one of my favourite bits about relationships is learning new, being open to new
You
things.
can enjoy their habits and what they enjoy without changing yours.
Yeah, without sacrificing your own.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
suppose.
And it is as simple as how do you have your eggs in the morning? Like, how do you change your eggs? It's those little things that I think, or some people tend to do and not realise it.
Yeah.
And then when you're by yourself, you think, I want scrambled eggs, bitch.
This is true.
Different types of breakup. I thought this would be interesting to chat about. There's a few different ones. So tell us if you've been through these. The mutual breakup.
I don't think such a thing exists.
Do you not?
No.
I think,
That'll be too easy.
I've had a mutual breakup, but
That you know of.
no. No, I think it was mutual because we weren't necessarily like in love or anything.
All right, okay.
like you both just called it a day kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It's mutual.
It's mutual.
I'm not convinced.
I think it does exist.
But does one person initiate it? You both don't just say it at the same time.
I think
Ready? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? 3, 2, 1, let's break up.
I think the person that initiates it isn't always necessarily the
I think it's
person
an
who
ego
wants it.
pain, an ego hurt thing. They just go, all right, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Circumstantial.
That's a good point.
Ah, yeah. So if somebody moves away
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Have you been through that?
no.
Nope.
Oh yes, yes, I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
The cheat.
Oh, always.
Have you been
No,
cheated
not
on?
always.
No.
Have you not?
No, you asked me this before and you're all like really surprised.
Right, sure.
I remember, and I said exactly the same thing the last time. What's that like?
Yeah. What does that feel like?
To not have your self-worth challenged on a massive global scale.
There's a few more, but I think the one that I personally have found the most difficult is the silent breakup, where they just disappear out of thin freaking air. Tell me you've been through this.
Where they've just disappeared.
Oh my God, she's never been through it.
No.
It's, from my experience, the worst thing.
I think it's the worst as
The
well.
worst thing. You get ghosted or ignored or just silence. Not necessarily get ignored, but they just say we broke up and then you just don't hear from him ever again.
Please tell your story.
Which one?
The London one.
Oh, the London one. So yeah, I was dating a guy. We were pretty much living together in London for 2 or 3 years or so. And you'll probably know who it is. Actually, no, I don't think I've ever mentioned him. Isn't that bad? No, it's not really. Anyway, we were together. I came home for the weekend because I missed my mates and that. I just came home just to visit them, and we had a bit of an argument. And then he basically, I rang him and I was like, "You sound like a dick. Like, this is just horrible what you've just said there. I think you should apologise, and you've really upset us." And he was like, "Oh, I'm really sorry." Hung up the phone, and then he texted us and broke up with us over text. After being on the phone. So broke up with us over text, right? I think I sent him one text back and said something like, "You broke me heart," or something like that. And then I deleted his number, and I've still never spoken to him to this day.
That's a silent breakup right there.
It's fucking savage is what it is.
Yeah, I lived with him. He had to ship all my stuff in a box. He didn't even tell us he was shipping it. It just turned up on the doorstep.
So the very last time you saw him was to say goodbye and get on the train.
Very last time I saw him, I gave him a kiss.
That's mental, that, and you've
Said,
never
"See you,
seen
bye."
that person since.
And I've never seen him since. Never seen him since. So I just thought at that point in time, you have really hurt me. And I was like, you are getting not one bit of my dignity. And I was just really stubborn with it. And I thought, no, I'm not even going to text you. I'm not going to text you. I'm not going to speak to you. I'm not going to ring you. Nothing. And I didn't. And he didn't.
And he didn't either.
He didn't. He never got in touch. He never messaged. He never... I think about 2 years... Oh, it might be even a year after... I'd lost something and I thought, yeah, I think it's another. So I emailed him. I might have emailed him.
I love the email.
I emailed him.
I did, yeah. Because I thought, I'm not texting him. You can get an email.
You should wrote him a letter.
I know, yeah.
Put it in the post.
Send him a telegram.
By pigeon. But yeah, no, I've never physically spoken to him since. Ever. What is that?
That is really mad.
And that's someone you spent a couple of years of your life with.
Oh, more than a few years. Like, we lived in Newcastle for...
That's crazy.
I went out on a night out
That's
once and never went back.
Did you?
But
oh my God, are you the silent breakup?
Maybe I am. No, because no. Let me explain. So we were engaged, obviously. We were engaged, wedding booked, full 9 yards. I went out on a night out. We were living together at the time. Went out on a night out, and without going into too much detail, I just got a new job and I was out with my new team. And one of my team members said, "Oh, how did Mr. X get on in court?" And I went, I'm sorry, what now? Bearing in mind, I was in my early 20s. I was a new manager trying to impress my team, trying to prove to them that just because I was young didn't mean I was stupid.
Oh, no.
So how did he get on in court? And I was like, sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. He hasn't been in court. Oh, but he has. He was there today. The police have been like knocking the door down because there's been a warrant out for him to appear in court in the house I lived in. And I was like, the fuck is... So obviously was full of drink, rang him, and I was like, oh, how did court go today? And he said, his response was, well, that's not very supportive. And I just lost my absolute shit and was screaming at him and calling him all the arseholes under the sun. And then I was stood in the taxi queue, and I'd come out straight from work, so I had my work bag with us. Oh, no. And my friend said, she just looked at us and it was like a light bulb came on in my head, and I went, I'm not going back. Yeah. She was like, Laura, don't be so ridiculous. I was like, I'm going to my mum's. Yeah. So I did. Oh, got in the taxi, got to my mum's, and I literally walked away with, all I had was a fork. Because I'd had a salad at work and I'd taken this fork.
And you lived there?
I lived there, and that was it. My mum woke up and I was in my old bedroom. She was like,
hello, Laura. What have you home?
What are you doing? And I went, she said, she'll tell you the story. I just sat bolt upright in bed and went, cancel the wedding. And she was like, what? Okay. Because she hated him. So she didn't need asking twice. And then for a while, every time I used that fork, I used to laugh. So I'd be like, I hope every time he opens that fucking kitchen drawer, he notices there's a fork missing.
I mean, as a bloke, he probably won't.
Nah, probably not. But yeah, never went back.
Yeah, the guy who sent me stuff in a box, one of the most, at the time, my friends pissed themselves off about this now. If any of you are listening, you'll know exactly what I'm about to say. But in the box was 2 or 3 empty deodorant cans. Like, he must have just swiped everything, like, in
Just
one
all your
box
empties.
and just put it all.
He sent you your empties back.
Me empties. He sent me empties back.
I mean,
in a
first
box.
of all, don't it be so scruffy, Kim? If it's empty, put it in the bin.
I think he cheated on us, to be fair, because about 2 weeks later, when the Facebook feed like changes and there's a girl who looks exactly like you but slightly different.
That old chestnut.
Was she using your deodorant?
Yeah, probably was.
I love it.
There's hair grips in there. It was funny. We laugh about it now. I think it's hilarious. Okay, so I think in terms of what's the most? Yeah, so for me, the silent breakup, why that's the most difficult part, or for me, the most difficult relationship, like breakup, is because you feel disrespected on top of everything else. Mm-hmm. So when somebody, if you're thinking about breaking up with someone, do not ghost them. It is not fun. It's not nice. It's really, really mean, and it's pointless. Like, you can still break up with somebody without,
Yeah, treat them like a human being.
Yeah. Literally just contact them, communicate, see how they're doing, hope you're okay, hope you're well. Doesn't mean that they're going to all of a sudden be like, oh, they want to get back with me because you're being nice to them.
I think that's one of the things,
the issue, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
People think that, oh, I'm going to have to break up with them and then never speak to them again, because if I talk to them again, they're going to want to jump back in bed with us. Yeah. Like, first thing, if you've broke up with them, the most likely not going to want to get back with you. Because you hurt them.
You're definitely not going to want to drop trial for them.
Exactly, yeah. So what is nice is just to be human and just say, how are you doing? Hope you're okay.
Yeah.
I know this is tough, but I just hope you're okay. Yeah. You can, kind of put in there, I know this is difficult, as if you're going through the same thing. Even if you're not, just be kind.
Yeah. Just lie. Yeah.
Just be kind.
I think you learn that with experience, don't you? You learn that with life experience, the way...
You would hope.
Well, you would hope. But
what do you think the hardest part of any breakup is?
When things crop up that would normally have happened with that person, but they're not there anymore.
Like not the usual routine of things.
The usual,
Do you feel like you lose a bit of yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
See, for me, I don't necessarily get that anymore because I stopped changing my eggs. So I, at one point, was like, no, this is me. 100% me. I like poached eggs, by the way.
If anyone wants to make eggs.
We'll have 2 scrambled and 1 poached, please.
Yes.
And I just was a bit like, no, this is the next relationship that I get. I'm not changing anything. I'm going to tell them about my murder documentaries.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell them about how I like my eggs, and that actually I really need to make time for the gym. All these things that actually was really important to me that I might have potentially sacrificed in other relationships.
Yeah.
And so I think it gets to a point where you don't have the option of losing you because you have always been there, and you don't change you at all to be with someone.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You lose you two, the two of you. You lose what you've got as a couple, but you don't miss the old you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
For me, the most difficult thing is like that entire death of the future.
Yeah.
Just disappears.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, I need to reimagine the future in my next chapters and that's hard, isn't it?
That's really hard.
Because that's what motivates me a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Planning and thinking what I want to achieve, what I want to do, where I want to go. And it's like, it just turns to dust.
Yeah.
And you're like...
All of a sudden, you start to think about your future looks like, that's not the same with just me, or...
In a way, it can be, once you get yourself in the right frame of mind, it can be exciting.
Yeah.
Because you're like, my next chapter only looks the way I want it to look.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you've got to get to that point.
You've got to get to that point, and that
which
can
is
take
easier
a
said
while.
than done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there were some good points to it. We'll come to that in a sec. I think, but for me, that's the most difficult thing, is getting past that. And once you can accept that, actually, your future won't look the same as what you thought it was going to. So I think that's what one of the most difficult things is my life is not going to be what I thought it was going to be. So it's not going to be as I imagined.
Yeah.
And then that, but you think about all that, that's all in your head.
Yeah, it's not happened.
yeah.
It's not happened.
It's not happened. We're mourning something that's never happened.
Yeah.
Like, when you think about it logically, it's a bit like, really? Like, you're all right.
Yeah.
So it's not like, I think it's just about understanding and accepting, okay, the future will not be as I thought it would be. So let's think of new things. What could it be? And then that becomes exciting and it becomes new and different. And
I think as well, like, I don't know what you both think, but for me, I think the next relationship that I get in, I'm going to try and not look that far ahead either.
I'm
just going to try and
keep it in chapters.
Yeah, because I just think, like you've just said, it's a thing that you've imagined. That's actually not happened.
Yeah.
There was nothing to say that it was going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You kind of totally imagine it, and you've got this fairy tale life in your brain. And like, well, hang on, where did that come from? We've made it up in our dreams. The other person doesn't even know about it sometimes.
Yeah, true enough.
That same author who I was chatting about earlier, she says, there's a little, it's a two sentence poem, but she says, your biggest loss was me, my biggest loss was me. And I think that can resonate to a lot of people. But I think for me, I learned that quite a long time ago. And I thought, I'm not doing that again. I don't want to lose me. Mm-hmm. I want to find a partner who accepts me for exactly who I am.
Yeah.
And I want us to be able to have shared joy and shared love. I don't want it to be, we become one person as a couple. You're two individual people who enjoy two individual lives and two individual personalities and two, you know what I mean? You don't have to amalgamate.
Yeah.
We're not, as when you become a couple, you don't have to become one.
I think it's always...
Despite what the Spice Girls say.
I think it's important. My ex taught me this, that you should always have your life at a certain point where your partner isn't your life. They're just that added extra.
Yes.
They are just the cherry on your cake. But when they leave or when they go or if they get knocked over by a bus, you still have the cake.
Yeah.
You just don't have the cherry.
Yeah.
And like...
Yeah, you should build your life up and around.
Yeah. You shouldn't have... You should compartmentalize your life to some extent, so that when you lose one part, the whole thing doesn't turn to shit.
Yeah. Is there a good, so talking about how to break up with someone, is there a good what, why, how, where, when?
No.
Like, is there a good time?
No.
There's never a good time.
No.
Is Christmas Day better than 2 days after Christmas Day?
I mean, don't ruin someone's Christmas.
Yeah, I know. So there is really,
Yeah.
There are better times than others, because you would rather not be broken up with on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I suppose there are.
Yeah.
Like,
logically
there is, yeah. But otherwise, in times of your life, there's not.
Nah.
Is there a in terms of why, that's individually, I'll come back to that. How you break up with somebody, I think that's the main thing that can cause more hurt, more pain than anything else. It's the how. Mm-hmm. Don't do it via text.
No. God, no.
Sit them down, have a conversation.
Yeah.
Talk about your feelings. Don't be scared. Talk about your emotions. Tell them exactly how you're feeling and say, I need some time, whatever it might be, whatever you need to do. I don't think this is going to work anymore. Be kind about it. They might scream. They might be upset. They might let them process. Mm-hmm. Give them some time, and then don't ghost them.
Yeah. Check in on them.
It's that simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Check in on them. See how they're doing. Are you okay? How's things? Hope you're all right. Just wanted to check on you. I know this is hard. That's all you have to say. Mm-hmm. So it is literally that simple. If they start calling you names, if they start texting you saying you're this, you're that, if they ring you at 2 o'clock in the morning when they're drunk, just be kind.
Yeah.
They're hurting. That person's in pain. They're really hurting. Just be kind. Hope you're okay. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to ignore them. You don't have to be nasty back, whatever it might be. Yeah. What do you do to get over a breakup? Like, what do you do? You always stay busy.
Yeah. But you have taught me to, which is not a go-to reaction of mine, to just feel the feels. Just let it happen.
Yep.
Because I'm just like, right, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
I've got all this time. I need
Everything
to do
avoid.
X, Y, Z. And then this time I've just kind of felt the feels. And don't get us wrong, it now hasn't gone away. But I feel a lot. I'm not going to, because in the past when I haven't done that, I've been distracted and then all of a sudden it's just kicked us in the teeth when I least expect it. And it's like, oh, maybe I should have addressed this earlier.
You have to, it's like a tunnel, you just have to go through it.
Yeah.
You have to just go through it and go, I'm going to cry, I'm going to be hurt, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be that. Just go through it, and you have to process, and you have to have those feelings, and you have to feel them. You have to, because otherwise you're not going to get over it and process it. You have to go through. You have to accept that it's going to hurt, and you just have to feel them, and it's okay. That's all right.
And I think one of the other things is like, just don't worry about how long it'll take.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much pressure that you've got to instantly be like this, or, you know, do this or do that or whatever. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you.
Yeah.
It could take you, you know,
100 years.
100 years, could take you a week.
Yeah.
Everyone's different. And I just think there shouldn't be a pressure on how long it takes you to get over somebody.
Yeah.
And I think people assume that the reason that you've broken up should dictate how long it takes you to kind of
move on.
Yeah.
And I think that's just bullshit. It really is.
We said this in the last podcast, and I'll say it again because I think it's became quite apparent. Like, the more we talk about it, don't listen to people when they say, don't worry, you'll find someone else.
Oh my
piss
God.
off.
Isn't it annoying?
Really
Isn't
annoying.
it so annoying? You just want to say, I don't want anybody else. Like, but you want to, it doesn't help.
It does not help.
It's not the right thing to say to someone going through a breakup.
No.
So don't say it.
It devalues what they've just lost,
Yes,
I think.
it devalues. It makes them think, don't worry, you'll get another one of them.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a piece of jewellery. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
Nor
not,
is it a multi-pack. Like, you're not just going to be like, oh, well, I've had one, but I've like... It's like when people talk about great loves, and it's like, oh, yeah, you get 2 great loves. Well, I'm fucked then. And I was fucked about 10 years ago. So I just don't believe in that.
And also, you don't need anybody but you.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't need somebody else.
That's what I mean. That's the other
for
thing.
me.
When someone's like, don't worry, there'll be someone else. Why?
Why do you need someone else?
Why does there need to be somebody else?
I am perfectly capable of looking after myself. I am perfectly capable of enjoying my life by myself.
Yeah.
And that's the difference that people do not kind of automatically accept. It's like, oh, she's going to be sad forever now, or they're going to be sad forever now, because they don't have somebody to enjoy their wonderfully perfect, happy life with. Like, what? No.
It's like the Miss Havisham idea, isn't it? Like, she's going to sit there in her wedding dress with a bottle of gin, crying. Like, no.
No.
Like, I'll
We
have...
good. Like, we good.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, we're all right. Like, we'll have the tears and we'll, you know, we'll get white girl wasted at some point and cry in a pub toilet and it'll be horrible. But we'll get there.
yeah.
We'll not get... I don't like the phrase, I'll get over you, because I think that's quite demeaning to the other person.
Yeah.
To me, it's not about...
Get over this.
I'll get over this. I'll get over how I feel at the minute
Yeah.
and how I have felt.
What did I send you the other day? This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. Yeah.
I stay busy. I do stay busy normally and see friends and kind of do all that. But I think that is more of again, I have learned to feel the feels and process them and not try and avoid them. Some people go the opposite way. They can't see anything but their feelings, and they can't go out and they can't do anything. You have to get a happy balance, don't you?
Yeah.
You have to push yourself out of your comfort zone of, I can't be asked to go out. I don't want to speak to anyone.
Yeah.
I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to see anyone. I just want to sit and cry. But you can't do that forever.
Yeah.
As much as you want to.
For the first time this time, I've said no to people. I've said, no, I'm just not in that place.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be in a room full of people because I don't want to talk about it, but I don't want to pretend it hasn't happened either, which puts other people in an awkward position because it's like, well, what the fuck do we do? Do we just like not like avoid eye contact with her? But I've just said like, no, not right now.
Yeah.
But I have problems saying no, full stop. when people ask us to
Yeah.
do things. So it's been hard, but it's felt better.
Balance between like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, but also knowing yourself and knowing that, you know what, I'm not up to this, and it's not going to end well if I go.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Like, it's knowing yourself, isn't it?
Have you been through some difficult, funny, hilarious, stressful breakups?
Too many to count.
Have you?
Yeah.
So I guess the cheating one's difficult because normally you find out that they've cheated, or they don't usually tell you, do they?
There's always more comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah,
Well.
there is. No matter what they tell you, there's always something else comes out later. So I've found out a few times, like an ex of mine. I was on a night out and someone said something about, I think we'd gone on a break or something. So to me, I was a bit like, oh, it's fine, it's all right.
Like friends.
I know, yeah. And then this girl came up and was like, oh, I can't believe you split up. I can't believe he cheated on you so many times. And I was like, I know,
Who
right?
says that?
I was like,
Who
I
does
know,
that?
isn't it terrible? Yeah, when was this? So, yeah,
Oh, you didn't know?
Do you have names?
no idea. I had no idea. And she just was like, I can't believe he did this. I can't believe he did that. I can't believe he cheated with her. I can't believe he did that. And I was like, oh my God.
My life is falling apart in front of me.
Yeah.
Fiance number one of the fork.
The fall.
He was about 4 hours late for our engagement party. Red flag.
Yeah.
And it transpired after, because obviously everyone then wants to tell you their take. It transpired after that. During the reason that he was so late was because he was in a hotel with his girlfriend at the time, explaining to her, because my parents had the audacity to put a marriage announcement in the paper. And obviously it had blown his cover because she had no idea I existed. So he was in a hotel with her, explaining to her that yes, he was getting married, but nothing had to change between them because it was just for financial reasons. Because he knew that my parents had just put some money in my name.
That is ridiculous.
What?
Shithead.
I hope you jabbed him with the fork.
I would if I ever, yeah. Thankfully, he's on a different continent now, so.
I was something. I had a that first breakup that you
Oh, this is cracking me up yesterday.
It's terrible, really, but honestly, it's funny now to think about. But I was just distraught. Like, I was just like, why? Like, no, we are going to be together forever. And I just couldn't accept it. I was like, no, I won't accept this. You love me.
How old were you here?
I was about
17 or something.
18, maybe.
18, yeah.
Yeah.
You love me. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
No, you do love me.
I did. I was literally like, Nana, I know that you love us. I do know that you love us, and this is going to happen. So, like, you might as well just get used to it. So I was really like, anyway, it got to the point where he was like, no, I don't.
I'm going.
I'm gonna. He was saying to someone else, but so he was a bit like, no, I think we're going to break up, and I was like, that's it then. So we drove around, we're on this drive, we must have been forever. And I was going back over things, and I was like, listen to a song, and in the car, I was really just torturing the situation when I look back. So eventually he pulled up at me driving, he was like, just get out. And I was like, please don't do this. And I was literally like, almost begging, like all of my dignity went completely out the window. Yeah. And I was like begging almost. And I was like, please don't do this to us, what have you. And he leaned over and opened the car door. Took my seatbelt off. And I was like, I'm not going. We're not doing this. I was like, no. Pure begging. And he got out the car. Pretty much lifted us out of the car, put us on the sidewalk, on the path. And I was on my knees.
No, you weren't.
I was distraught. And then he got back in the car and drove off.
Can you imagine Kim just in the mirror? Like him just looking at her in the mirror like...
Bye, see ya.
Who came and picked you up off the path?
Me brother.
Oh.
Bless him. He came up and he got us, and I was like, and he just hugged us, and he said, it's the worst feeling in the world, sis. And I was like, I was just distraught. I know, and then he came back. He basically was saying to us, and he came back, and he was like, I think we should get back together. And I was like, okay. by then I'd had a
I bet
taste
Dom
of,
was like, son of a bitch.
yeah, I had a taste of single life, and then I was a bit like, and I think what I did was I got over him while I got back with him.
I hope you kicked him out of a car.
And then I did, yeah, eventually. And he, to be fair, he then, it's very dramatic. Then we were out on a night out, and I was a bit like, see ya. Like, because I was like, you made me lose my dignity. I was
In a
fuming.
big way.
Yeah. I was fuming. So, and then we were on a night out, and he was just polatic, and he got down on one knee in the pub. And he was like, I just want to marry you. And I was just going, ha ha.
I'm glad you got him back.
I did. And I was like, you can stay there for a bit. I might think about it. No.
Oh, my word.
It's just young, and yeah.
Yeah,
Just young and like.
Being at school and like, if you wanted to break up with somebody, you wouldn't do it. You'd go and get your friends to do it.
Yeah.
And like all that kind of like
I don't think I had a school boyfriend.
school breakups are like just the most random.
I remember the only,
of your
that's
life.
just, I've just had a flashback and I feel sick. My poor boyfriend, God love him. He was such a lovely, anyway, I wanted to break up with him. But I kept putting it off because he was so lovely, but totally not for me. And he rang us on my house phone, obviously, pre-mobiles. And I went, oh, how are you? And he's like, I've had a really bad day. And I went, well, it's about to get worse. I am an awful human being.
didn't.
I bet you know who he is as well. And he went, really? Why? And I was like, I don't want to go out with you anymore. And I was in the living room. My dad was like,
I can imagine you.
and I was like, okay, bye.
It's mad, isn't
What
it?
a bitch.
Yeah, there's ways to do it and ways to not. Don't lose your dignity.
Don't have to be airlifted out of a car.
Don't get kicked out of a car and left on the path.
It's funny now, though. I think it's funny now. But
A lot of traumas are
yeah,
when you look back.
yeah, and I think give yourself time is a good thing.
Yeah.
Give yourself time to process everything and kind of go through it. And like you say, there's no end date on like
No.
So something that I've realised, when dealing with a breakup and processing it and thinking about it, there's a lot of kind of, why has this happened to me? Why has he or she or they done this to me? I can't believe this is happening to me. Like, you know, all of that. Take "to me" out and it changes everything. And I've done this during a breakup and it changes everything. If you think about the same things, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe he's done this or they've done this. You know, I can't believe this is what's going on. I can't believe this is my life. Take out "to me" and it literally changes your mindset completely. Because if someone's cheated on you and you go, I can't believe he's done this to us. Like, it's not about you.
Yeah.
They didn't do this to you. They did it actually for them. It's nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Don't think of it that way because it's not about you. They just did it. It makes you go from bitter and upset to actually feeling a bit sorry for the other person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it makes you go, instead of going, I can't believe they did this to me, they cheated on me. Instead of it being like a personal attack, it's, I can't believe they cheated. Oh, wow. They must be really messed up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's really hard to do.
It's
but
really hard,
It's
but
such a good perspective.
Yeah, and it is really hard to do.
Yeah.
But you have to physically stop the "to me." Physically stop saying it. Physically stop thinking it. Don't even think it in your brain. If you feel like you're saying it to yourself, take the "to me" away completely. Nothing in a breakup is about "to you."
Yeah.
It's about the other person. Someone's broke up with you. It's about them. Someone's cheated on you. It's about them.
Yeah.
Someone doesn't want to be with you anymore. It's about them. It's nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can ever do to, we take it so personally. What have I done? What could I have done? And sometimes, actually, if you have that conversation, if you have a conversation with somebody, why have you done this to me? Why have you done this to me? They can't answer because they haven't done it to you.
Yeah.
They've done it for them.
Yeah.
So you can't answer. If you say, why have you done this? Full stop. They'll be able to answer that question.
Yeah.
They'll be able to explain that. If you say, why have you done this to me? They can't answer that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's
a good point.
Like, it's it's just, for me, it's a game changer.
Yeah. I say that.
Like, it's not, it's a whole new way of thinking. But if somebody...
It takes the pity party element out of it, doesn't it? Because
it does.
a lot of a breakup is like, oh, woe is me. This has happened. That's happened. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. But again, like, life happens.
Yeah.
So it's not... And it takes out, I think... What's the alternative? You want them to stay with you forever while they're miserable?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the alternative?
Yeah.
So it's why have you done this? Might give you some answers as to what you might have done in the relationship or played a part in that. So it might be that the two of you have, I don't know, played part in the relationship. Usually it is the case.
Yeah.
Breaking down or whatever it might be. But you're not going to get those answers by feeling them all as something that's happening to you.
Yeah.
You have to think of it as something that's happened.
Yeah.
Take yourself out of that and then go, right, how do we fix this thing that's happened? Or how do we not fix this thing, but understand why?
Yeah, I think it's the understanding for me.
People want to understand why, but you're never going to understand if you keep thinking it's about you.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
You're not going to ever understand that. Make sense?
Yes. Yes, indeed.
I'm like taking it in.
Yeah.
Like, it does make really good sense though. It absolutely does. You feel you're going through that hurt and you think like, oh, it's me, and you take that like personally. But you're right. It's looking at the situation on a whole and being like, well, we both played a part somehow. The relationship broke down. And thinking about it, not necessarily that person did that to me. That person just did that.
Yeah. They did it. They didn't do it to you. They weren't sat, I don't know, even cheating.
Calculating
about, how am I going to do this? Yeah. Unless you're going out with someone who's really abusive and specifically tries to hurt you. Like, people don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, they do things, they make mistakes, they have actions.
Yeah.
They don't do it to go, right, I'm going to do this to this person. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to have my actions. And then I'm going to get the question, why have you done this to me? And I don't know what I'm going to say.
A lot of people aren't really thinking about you. And I know that sounds awful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like they're ending a relationship because they're not happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or really they have cheated because they are attracted to that person. And you don't really come into
the equation.
No.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing of what she got that I don't, or what does he have that I... When people have cheated, again... It's not about you.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you. It's actually completely nothing to do with you, to the point that they actually forgot about you for a minute. It's nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
It is everything to do with them and what they are trying to achieve in their life and what they want. It's not, don't take it personally. It sounds really silly.
Yeah, no,
it's a breakup,
it's true.
but that would be my advice anyway.
Yeah.
Have you got any more funny stories or anything?
Mine just sad. Mine not funny. No one wants to hear my sad stories.
I don't know. Mine are all like, the fork was pretty much the highlight of my...
Great. I think we'll end on my wisdomous ways then.
Yeah, I think we all absorb that. Take that away. Think about that. I think it's a really, really good point.
And try and do it. If you're breaking up with someone, if you're going to go through a breakup, think about it that way around. Just take "to me" out of the sentence completely. Yeah. Just take it out. Don't say it. And then rearrange your sentences and you'll find the conversation becomes very different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very good point.
On that note.
I feel like giving a round of applause and I don't know why.
I know,
very like American or something.
To us. To us.
Thank you for joining us. You've both been wonderful guests as usual.
Thank you.
This has been Just Another Group Chat podcast. You can also listen to us on Spotify. Hang on. Spotify. We do this all the time in the office. YouTube.
Apple Podcasts.
Apple what?
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcast. So yeah, I knew.
The thing that you listen to it on.
I do actually listen to it on that, any subjects that you'd like us to talk about or anything, give us some comments, let us know. And we will see you guys next week on Just Another Group Chat.